All right, guys, so we need to talk about not only Trump's war on Harvard and academia, but also his war on science. Because this is now, we've hit a fever pitch here, bro. So the New York Times has an article. Trump has cut science funding to its lowest level in decades. The National Science Foundation, which funds much of the fundamental scientific research at American universities, is awarding new grants at the slowest pace in at least 35 years. The funding decreases touch virtually every area of science, extending far beyond the diversity programs and other woke targets that the Trump administration says it wants to cut. So that was the Trojan horse. The Trojan horse was, bro, we're just trying to cut back on the woke stuff and the DEI stuff. We think those programs are unfair. And so they would use that to get the universities on board, right? And then as soon as the universities agreed, they went, nah, we're just playing. We want to control everything about the universities. We want to control the courses. We want to put the schools under a federal conservatorship so we make all the decisions. And so the lesson from that was, you give them an inch, they will take a mile, right? But look at how devastating these numbers are, bro. Trump year-to-date cuts in scientific fields. Mathematical sciences, 72% cut. Physics, 85% cut. Chemistry, 57% cut. Astronomy, 53% cut. Biotech, energy, and health sciences, 9% cut. Earth sciences, 80% cut. So what everybody needs to understand is the long-term impacts of cutting back on science and research like this. The long-term impacts are, we are no longer going to be a hub for the world's best and brightest. We're not going to be a hub anymore. This leads to what we call brain drain, which means the best and the brightest from around the world no longer want to come to the United States. In fact, we covered a story where, I forget the exact number, but I think it was maybe upwards of 80% of the people who do research in this country want out. The medical researchers, the scientists. For all of this country's flaws, it still remained a hub of academic rigor and scientific research and medical research. And then now, with all of the massive NIH cuts and all of the massive cuts in funding to universities, now we're cooked. And the thing is, this just leads to stagnation. This just leads to, maybe there would have been 4 or 5 incredible new medicines that come out for various diseases over the next 10 years. Now, we might not see any of that happen. You guys know they cut long-term research for all different sorts. I don't know if it was diabetes or Alzheimer's or it's for something. I remember reading an article about how there was a multi-year study, multi-decade study that was going on. They just defunded it. They were like, yeah, we're done with that. What are you talking about? And these are the kind of investments that in the long run pay off massively. And they just, nope, it's not giving a subsidy to a billionaire, and it's not throwing money at the military-industrial complex, so let's just scrap it. Well, the results of this are catastrophic. So now you have scientists and researchers, they're going to go to Europe. They're going to go to Australia. They're going to go to China. They're going to go to Canada. And they are fleeing. They're fleeing because now there's nothing for them here. There's nothing for them here. And so I really don't think people understand the long-term impact of this, right? What you're doing is you are guaranteeing a Chinese century comes next because you're throwing in the white flag, bro. You're throwing in the white towel. You're going, hey, dog, we don't even want to lead the world when it comes to medical pursuits, scientific pursuits. We don't even want to lead the world. We're just going to concede to you. And so, okay, well then, don't be surprised when people treat this country like it's not even a developed nation, a civilized nation. Like, they treat us like, why would I want to go there? There's no reason to go there. They might black bag me and send me to fucking El Salvador. And they don't welcome people from around the world, and they don't want to be this dynamic hub for the world. And so this is, it's such a dark side of Trumpism and nationalism. This is the sort of isolationism that absolutely dooms a nation, right? And so, this is going to be long-term. This is just a horrific, horrific decision. Now, by the way, another thing that Trump did is he decided, we're going to make it so Harvard can't accept any more foreign students. Like, what? What are you talking about? Who does that? What, like just like that, all foreign students, we don't want you here. It's flabbergasting how stupid an idea that is. Okay, ready? So then Trump's asked about that. You're not going to believe his father. This is incredible, this answer. Here we go.
Why would you not want the best and brightest from around the world to come to Harvard?
I do, but a lot of the people need remedial math. Did you see that? Where the students can't add 2 and 2 and they go to Harvard. They want remedial math, and they're going to teach remedial math at Harvard. No, wait a minute. So why would they get in? How can somebody that can't add or has very basic skills, how do they get into Harvard? Why are they there? And then you see those same people picketing. And
he's asked, hey, why are you shutting down like the best and the brightest from coming here? And he's like, I do want the best and the brightest here, but they don't even know remedial math. They're getting into Harvard. They don't even know 2 + 2 = 4. What the fuck are you babbling about? Never in the history of Harvard has somebody gone to Harvard and they not know that 2 + 2 = fucking, of course they know. That, like, what does that mean? He's got no defense. By the way, one of the theories as to why he's doing this is because I don't know if it's him or his family members like Barron and Don Jr. and the rest of them, but a bunch of people in his family allegedly were rejected from Harvard. And so one of the theories is just like personal malice, right? And I don't know, maybe there's some truth to that. I mean, he didn't try any of this shit in the first term, I don't think, at least not to this extent, right? So it's possible it's that. It's also possible that now that the universities are fighting back, he's trying to like raise the stakes and go over the top of them again, right? Because a bunch of the universities were bending the knee early on, but then they realized that like you give them an inch, they take a mile. And so they were like, fuck that, never mind. And they started fighting back, right? Now a bunch of universities came together and decided like we're going to act as a block with everything we do, right? So they try to make one of us do it. That's an attack on all of us. We're all going to get together legally and, pursue the administration, sue them. And so I don't know what's at the core of this, but this is, I mean, I know I've said this a lot, but the fact remains. If Trump was actively trying to destroy the United States, he wouldn't act any differently. Like the theories of he's like a foreign asset who's in here specifically to take down the United States. I mean, I know it sounds conspiratorial, it sounds crazy, but look at the actions of this regime. When you do something like cut pediatric cancer research and cut Meals on Wheels and destroy the medical research in this country and the scientific research and defund the university, like you are taking an area where the U.S. was thriving, where our universities, these high-level Ivy League universities, these were like the envy of the world, and people wanted to come from all around the world. And when you say actively, like, fuck the best and the brightest, there's Salem spinning in circles on the chair. When you say fuck the best and the brightest, like, it looks like you are actively and purposely trying to destroy the country. It's like there's no way around it, right? Like, that's what it is. That's what it looks like. And it looks like that. Maybe it is that. I don't know. But one more time, what an amazing thing to say.
Why would you not want the best and brightest from around the world to come?
I do.
That's a lie. Why would you not want the best and brightest? Yeah, he said, I do. Then why did you ban the foreign students? By the way, I think the courts already slapped that down. It had to do with a different case, but functionally, the end result is the same, where it like slaps down what Trump said here. Here's Salem again, y'all. So this backfired immediately because courts were immediately like, nope, can't do that.
A lot of the people need remedial math. Did you see that? Where the students can't add 2 and 2 and they go to Harvard. They want remedial math, and they're going to teach remedial math at Harvard. No, wait a minute. So why would they get in? How can somebody that can't add or has very basic skills, how do they get into Harvard? Why are they there? And then you see those same people picketing. And
yeah, this is a war on science. This is a war on academia. It's a war on Harvard. And what he's doing consistently is taking the things in this country that work the best and just destroying them, right? That's what they're going after. Medicaid, they're going after Medicare, they're going after Social Security. These things are the crown jewel of American government, right? Incredibly high approval rating, worked phenomenally well. They're destroying that. Name anything good, name anything positive. They're destroying it. And this right here is, again, this is the death knell of this country, because in the long run, there's no recovering. from losing your status as like the place where the best and the brightest go, and the place where the research happens for the medicine of the future and the science of the future. You get the point. They're destroying the country. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.